If anyone else wants to get on the list for a reading today, you'll be the fourth person read for. It is 3 cards for a donation of 27 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 21 or more for my subscribers, Binks and 𝗪𝗨𝗟𝗚. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for on this app: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in a private reading, and you can book a private reading on my website, 𝗪𝗚𝗏𝗟𝗏.com. My private readings are done over video, and if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber name at the point of payment. If anyone else wants to get on the list right now, you'll be the 4th person read for. Also, I'm gifting a reading back to the collective when we hit 50K likes. We are already at 32K, so make sure that you're tapping that screen. Everyone on the bus! Get on! You have to get on. I don't care where you're going. You got to get on it. All right. Thank you again for those beautiful gifts, Raja. I've been in isolation and learning social media. That's beautiful, Jackie. I connect with someone here. I'm so glad, Jackie. I hope that this is providing a good space for you right now. All right, we're reading right now for Tempest, highest priority messages. Please, thank you. Can I please have 4 cards for Tempest? Highest priority messages from Spirit, please, and thank you. 4 cards, please. What does Tempest need to know right now to help them on their journey? 2 are out. 2 more, please. Thank you so much. I'm getting help is on the way. I mean, the thing about this right now is I feel like you're in conversation with your divine masculine right now. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, and it feels incredibly supportive. You know, this feels like some kind of energy rising up within you that's telling you not to be so hard on yourself. You know? Like, I just see that, like, you know, I feel like you're kind of embodying it to a certain extent. You know, you've got like, this could be a masculine guide right now, but it definitely feels like the embodiment of the masculine energy that's trying to remind you that you're really hard on yourself. You got to keep your head up. Like, you got to, I almost see this space here that's like kind of trying to remind you that, like, you know, and it really does feel, it feels like it's giving me a little bit of energy of someone being like, hey, like, it's giving me like a little bit of that like tough love energy of being like, hey, if you're sad, they win. Like, I see them almost going like, hey, if you're sad, they win. It really, like, it feels like this right now. You know, it's giving me a little bit of this energy of someone like trying to like pick you up by your bootstraps, you know? And it's also saying to me that, it's really like a boost of confidence. And I almost hear them saying, if you don't have it, you can borrow mine. Just pretend they're saying, pretend you're me. like, pretend you're me. What would I do in this situation? I literally have some kind of guy that's saying, then you're going, if you don't have it in you, just embody me. Like, how would I handle it? Like, because I see even here that, like, a lot of this is like, it's helping you connect to like your own, like your highest version of self, you know? And like a lot of it's almost saying to me, like, also don't accept any imitations. Like, I almost feel like your divine masculine saying, like, would I treat you like that? Like, would I do that? Don't confuse me. Don't confuse me for somebody else, is what I'm almost saying. Like, don't confuse me for someone else. Or saying, like, I live in here. You know what I look like. You know, like, you know how I act. And, you know, I think that the message about that to a certain extent is like, I feel like that part of you is like kind of reminding you and saying, like, look, you know, I hear someone saying, I would never treat you that way. You know, like, and that's why I see even now someone being like, are you going to take that? Or I wouldn't treat you that way. Because, you know, I think that you're healing in some kind of like massive way right now. And again, it's starting with someone saying, imagine you're perfect. Imagine that you're perfect, because for the person that you're for, you will be. You know, and I have to stress this, like, I don't mean like perfect. like perfect. Like none of us can be perfect energetically. But I like to point out too that I guarantee you that when you think about, I want you to, and again, I want you, this is what they're saying. They're very smart. This is what they're saying to me is they're wanting you to think about the person that you care about most. Do you care about that? When you think about that person, do you think about all the ways that they're perfect? Or do you fall in love with those imperfections? Because they're saying that the thing that we fall in love with are our imperfections. Like that's where love resides. Love resides in the space that we see in others' imperfection. And we say that's where the love gets in. Like those are the parts I love the most, right? And so they're reminding you of that. And they're saying if that's how you love, then remember that's how your like energetic counterpart will love as well. And if there's energy that makes you feel like you're less than, remember that's not energy that like, or makes you feel like you're a failure because you have imperfections. Remember, that's not love. That's someone who's just deeply intimidated by you. Like that's just someone that is deeply intimidated by you and is trying to knock you down a few pegs. You know? Like remember, an energy that loves you, you know, will never say you're imperfect and not worthy of love. An energy that loves you will say, I love you, and especially in those spaces that you're imperfect. An energy trying to take you down a peg, an energy that feels that intimidation point, that feels like they see you and they suddenly feel less than because they've got to unpack a lot of stuff about themselves. They'll be the ones that kind of start picking away at you. They'll be the ones that'll start being like, hey, got a little something on your face. Yeah, it was embarrassing. You really gonna go out like that? You really gonna put your voice down? Remember that usually speaks more about someone that has a deep insecurity in themselves. Deep. You know how deep your insecurity has to be to feel the need to constantly take others down to make yourself feel better? You know, it's painful. It's sad. Because that person is saying, I believe everyone's judging me. And if you're near me by proxy, then they're judging you too. And so I'm going to judge you because I assume everyone else is. And it never crossed their mind that maybe you don't have to go around judging everybody all the time. Maybe you can just love someone regardless. So, you know, hold space for someone in that level and degree of insecurity, but don't tolerate it. And I'm not saying that. Your divine masculine energy saying that. Like this is a message from on high, literally. Like they're saying, like they're literally saying, would I treat you like that? Would I treat you like that? Don't say, why am I treating you like that? Because they're like, if I'm treating you in a way that you don't like being treated, that's not me. Accept no imitations. You know, like they're saying accept no imitations. Bottom of the deck on this right now. Yeah, man, this is. I feel like you're in this modality of energetic recovery. I feel like you saw. I need to stress this. This is what's so hard. The ability to see the potentiality in a counterpart. The ability to see the potentiality. Like that's what we call like kingmaker energy. You know, like you look towards someone and you say, I see you. Like you're energetically on the cusp of greatness, were it not for your own energetic limitations. I feel like you saw that in someone. Like I feel like you saw, like you saw that, you saw who they could become. You know, if they allowed themselves to fully embody and embrace the person that they were. But what can be so very energetically painful, and this is what's so difficult when we don't work on our insecurities, is when we are insecure, what we're really saying is we feel like our true nature cannot be seen, that it is lacking, right? And so that's why we always have to make sure that we're not building towards a potentiality of seeing another's potential. Because that space of recognizing it, the only way that person's going to recognize it is if they recognize that there's nothing about themselves that needs fixing, except for the fact that they feel like everyone around them requires fixing. You know, it's paradoxical like that, right? Like their own sense, like you have to embrace, only by embracing one's own messiness do you fully become energetically perfect. And it doesn't mean that you just say, you accept me as I am, and that's who I will stay. It's in the accepting as who you are that you can work towards improving. Because if not, you'll just look around at everyone else and you'll build blind spots to your own self, and you'll look around and say everyone else is lacking. Because what you're really saying to everybody that you say that to is, I feel like I'm lacking, right? You know, like you're saying is like, and again, the energy that recognizes it, which is why like the energy in that modality, you know, you just don't kind of operate there. So when that's happening, you know, I don't want that, you know, they're saying don't take it. I know it's hard not to take it personally, but think about it more of the fact that what's really happening in those moments is that you're acting as a mirror. You know, you're acting as a mirror for another person's lack of embracing the compassion through which they identify with. And so, you know, in a way, you can kind of feel sympathy for someone that looks around and has something cruel or nasty to say about everyone that they encounter. Because what they're really saying is, when they look in the mirror, all they see is lack. All they see is that lack of perfection, right? And it's almost like they're revealing that via the way that they perceive the world around them. So, you know, you can have compassion for it, but don't imbibe it. You know, don't take what they say, but recognize the sadness or the pain that comes from someone in that experience. You know, because you often have to suffer through it, but you can't necessarily change it until they build a deeper appreciation of gratitude for themselves and those around them. We're all doing the best that we can. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of 27 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 21 or more for my subscribers, Binks and 𝗪𝗨𝗟𝗚. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for on this app: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in a private reading, and you can book a private reading on my website, 𝗪𝗏.com. My private readings are done over video, and if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber name at the point of payment. Here are the cards if you needed to see them, Tempest. And this was the bottom of the deck. Next person, thank you, Cassandra, for getting on the list. You will be read for after Celestial. Next person on the list for today is Andrea here. Andrea, if you're here, can you please respond in all caps? Let me know if you would like a general reading or if you have a specific question you would like me to answer. And if anyone else would like to get on the list right now, you will be the 4th person read for. Also, and thank you, Valerie, for getting on the list. You'll be read for after Cassandra. If anyone else wants to get on the list for today, I'll be the 5th person read for. And also, when we reach 50K likes, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. We are already at 35K, so make sure that you're tapping that screen. And if Andrea isn't here, because Andrea was a holdover from yesterday, we will be continuing forward and reading for Celestial. So Celestial, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you would like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And just bear with me a moment so I can read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. And just a reminder, if you missed the daily collective read, it will be up on my YouTube later today. I'll post on my stories once it is up. All right, where were we? How do you send hearts? All you do, Jackie, to send hearts is you just tap the screen like this. And the more you tap the screen, the more likes I get. And when we reach 50K likes, I'm going to be gifting a free reading back to the collective. Yes, your smile makes me smile too. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Thank you for letting them know, Leonora. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Listen to my video, picked up even more. Thank you. You're so welcome, Grace. Thank you for being here and receiving these messages, and thank you for having that reading with me. I hope you're doing well today. I woke up this morning and felt a sudden shift in my emotions. Yeah, I mean, that eclipses will do that. You know, perspective change. A lot of vertigo right now. Thank you, Anne-Marie. I gave someone another chance that didn't actually deserve. Slapped me in the face again. I'm so sorry, Tempest. I'm so sorry. I was beating myself up for days because I had the gut feeling he didn't change, but I extended. I mean, listen. I mean, like, I'm even getting this message from, like, your highest, like, the masculine energy saying, like, you had to do that. You know? Like, I feel like there's something about this that they're saying you always would have wondered, but now, like, now you're sure. You know? Like, I feel like there was something really important about that. Like, it's giving some kind of sense of confirmation and closure. All right. I needed to hear this. Thank you, La Nina. Forgiveness and space in my life with hope. So instead of beating myself up, I started having gratitude for my Yeah, you should. I mean, like, I see it even now. Like, I feel like, again, there's a lot of that. Like, I feel like your divine masculine energy saying, like, you know, of course you did. Like, that's not a failure point. It shows the fact that, like, you know, you embody that space of compassion. You're giving someone the benefit of the doubt, you know? Tap to claim. Thank you for that. Thank you, La Nina, for that. That's very kind of you to say. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you as well, Ariana. Yep, I realized this. He didn't change. He only came back into my life to take me down. I mean, you know, I feel like he does it. Like, that person does it to themselves first. You know? Like, I can see it even now. Like, that's that energy that, like, I see someone being like, why do you act this way? And someone being like, I don't know. You know? Like, I see someone, like, in that space. Like, I can even see them now being like, you know? Thank you for confirmation, Anne-Marie. Thank you. I thought you just tapped the screen. Yep. If he's genuine, then he has a lot of healing to do, but it's not my burden to carry. Yeah, my future husband would never. The audacity. No, I mean, I see it too. Like, you know, I think that they're intimidated by you. Like, that's the thing that they keep saying to me. Like, all of it has to do with the fact that they're intimidated by you. And when they get intimidated, they're saying to me they have a tendency of liking to take someone down a peg. It doesn't benefit them, you know? You're so welcome, Tempest. And again, thank you for having that reading with me, and I wish you best of luck on your journey. This is so beautiful. Thank you for receiving it as well, Nina. It has been very hard, bro. I can see this, because I can see you almost saying to someone, like, you know, you don't have to be like this. The irony, he left a previous partner because he didn't want to Dr. Phil her and himself simultaneously. But that, I mean, like, I think that that's important too. Like, you know, that ability of feeling, we have to be very conscientious. We do not, you know, we can't say to ourselves, like, you know, I'm in a partnership and this person needs to heal, right? Because that's that modality of what we're really saying in those moments. Like, there's a difference between saying, like, we're working on something together. But when we say, like, oh, there's something that you need to fix to be able to facilitate partnership, what we're really saying is, like, I'm not happy with who you are. Like, because being in partnership requires change. Like, and I see that there's a lot of that shaping, you know? I feel like that's the thing. Like, I feel like that's a type of energetic, you know, energy where it's like whoever wants to be with them, they better get used to being shaped to a certain extent, you know? Like, yeah, I keep, like, and that's not healing. Being shaped is not being healed. Like, different things. Still learning about the following and making sure they're the true person and not pretending to be. I mean, again, that internal, we all have connection to those higher selves, and we can tell if the way someone's treating us will tell us all we need to know. I've got you, Andrea. You're back, dear. Wonderful. All right, Celestial, we're going to read Andrea first, and then we'll read you. Sorry for you. No, don't apologize. I love the writing a lot. I love getting confirmation on the reading. The reading was like a mini therapy session for me. That's beautiful. I'm so glad that this message connected. And thank you for being here, and thank you for your patience in receiving it. You're so welcome, Cliff. All right. And again, you know, that difference between healing and shaping is all the amplification of choice. Oh, you can't. That's why you can't heal what doesn't want to be healed. All right. And thank you again, Andrea, for your patience in having your reading. You'll be getting 5 cards today. Thank you for being a subscriber. You'll get an additional card for your patience. If anyone else wants to get on the list for today, you will be the 5th person read for. And we are already at 38K likes, my friends. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. Can I have 5 cards? 5 cards for Andrea, please. Highest priority messages. Highest priority messages from Spirit on the relationship between them and that energy. 3, 4, 5. Ugh. This is complicated. This is just gonna be a headache. It's fun. It's just like a lot of talking. It's like a lot of talking. But like a lot, like, you know, keep them talking. Just keep them talking is what I mean. Like, I think there's something really important about this. You know, in relationality to what feels like it's practical versus what feels like it's unnecessary. You know? There's a lot, it feels like a little bit of this energy, that talks in circles. I would be very mindful here of anyone that's talking in circles to a certain extent. You know, because and I gotta stress this, it really feels like, I'll put it this way. It's it's like when someone talks towards connectivity, it's in relationality to, and I need to say this, the amplification of energetic choice. It's being kind of attentive and saying what is it that I feel like I hear someone talking a lot about well, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, I don't like that, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do, I all this I just hear a lot of you know, and it's it's giving me a little energy of someone being I'm fine, how are you? No, I've been great. No, thank you for asking. You know, because there's something really important in relationality to this that has to do with consideration and compassion and empathy and recognizing that, you know, the path work in building with someone, it's not built on personal preference, right? I mean, it's important. It's important that we enjoy. It's important that we enjoy something, and it's important that you know, we're in situations that, you know, are energetically healthy and restorative. But it feels like there's something here that needs to be navigated in relationality to. I feel like there's someone coming towards you in a big way that's trying to heal something, right? They want, there's a lot of that desire here, you know? And almost someone trying to argument or articulate all the benefits of trying to come into some positivity point. But I need to stress this. If there was some kind of space of time here, you know, that had to do with their own anxiety or their own fear. I see someone coming towards you and saying to themselves, I know what I want now.